Just imagine being able to shoot stills, video, without having to worry about noise in low light or any sort of aberration, or even Moire in certain shirts like this one here. Imagine being able to do all of that with a new technology that Canon just developed to fix all three of these problems. The only question is, this technology, is it going to be delivered through hardware such as what Sony did with the A7R5 and a dedicated AI chip that we could see in upcoming cameras like the Canon EOS R5 Mark II or even the Canon EOS R1? Or could it be coming to us in some sort of cloud service or in software like their digital professional photo editing software? Details coming up, but first, please do me a favor. Follow me on Twitter, subscribe to this channel, choose all notifications, like, comment, and all that good stuff. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything, and it really does help this channel grow. Canon Global just announced a new deep learning image processing technology that aims to address three problems. Please forgive the machine translation today as it's just a little bit rough. The first problem is noise, which you generally get when shooting in low light or high ISO. The second problem is moire. Quite often we see this when we're shooting with any sort of shirt that has lines on it. And the third problem, this is the blur that's caused by, well, the actual lens itself or optical elements that gives us a somewhat blurry or out of focus look. All these problems are fixed using AI technology and the application of deep learning. We were able to gather a large amount of data to analyze and address problems and adjust camera settings to affect the image quality. I don't have to tell you that every photo editing app can reduce noise. Video editing apps can also reduce noise. But with the removal of noise comes loss of detail, comes loss of quality of the image. As a result, we established the neural network noise reduction function that allows you to get clear and high quality images. In this first sampled image provided by Canon, we can see zoomed in around the mouth area, showing a little bit of hair, the lips, and the chin, that the amount of noise is greatly reduced, but it doesn't appear that the detail suffers very much. Look at the hair. We can see the contrast, we can see the detail and the sharpness in the hair, and the color representation looks good as well. In the second image, a cityscape of Paris, looking at the Eiffel Tower, zoomed in to the observation deck, we can see the detail, we can see the sharpness. It looks absolutely incredible. And again, we don't have any sort of loss of color. The luminance information doesn't appear to be affected. It just looks a whole lot more sharper. It looks much more improved. And it looks like in these two cases, the solution works. Noise is removed, and the detail actually appears to be, well, there appears to be more detail and the image more sharp. No loss of color, no loss of luminance. While today's modern cameras are powerful, moire and jagged edges are really the result of the architecture, that RGB sensor architecture, and how information is gathered from the sensor and then brought together to create images using JPEG, using RAW. Once again, Canon is able to use their image database to establish a color interpretation, deep learning image processing technology, and if that isn't enough of a mouthful for you, they call it neural network demosaic. And once again, Canon provided two examples where they're able to show how they were able to improve these images using their neural network demosaic. The improvements here aren't as easy to detect in these low-resolution images as they were in that Paris cityscape or the picture of the model, but we can definitely see an improvement if we zoom in. And in the shirt, the colors are protected, the sharpness is improved, and while the moire is definitely improved, it's a whole lot more harder to detect with this low-resolution image. The third application of Canon's deep learning technology solves issues related to the lens. Aberration. Just look at the sharpness, the color representation, the luminance. There's no loss of detail. In fact, the image looks better. It looks like there's more detail than less. And when shooting astro, well, aberration is improved here as well. And in this cityscape, we not only got an improvement in sharpness, but we also got a reduction in chromatic aberration while also reducing color fringing. This is no rumor. This is something that Canon posted on Canon Global just a couple of days ago. This is a technology that they have, an AI deep learning technology that could be coming out in the next coming cameras, such as the Canon EOS R5 Mark II, the Canon EOS R1, or it could also show up in a cloud service or in software like their digital photo professional editing software, maybe perhaps version 5. Sony took a slightly different approach with their AI technology. In the A7R5, they actually put in a dedicated AI chip, whereas Canon took a slightly different application. In the 1DX Mark III, they implemented AI deep learning, but it was in the camera itself within software, or in the camera we call it firmware. For Canon, This technology, they don't say where it is, where it's going to be implemented, whether it's going to be in technology within the camera itself, such as the R5 Mark II or the Canon EOS R1, or if it's going to be something that's going to be in one of their cloud service platforms, or perhaps in the digital professional software version 5 coming out. But one thing is sure, that this is definitely looking like an improvement, and I'd be happy to see this in camera. After all, the Moire, that's created in camera due to the architecture of the sensor. And as far as noise, well, it would be nice to have that in camera as well. Have it as an option for both RAW and JPEG or HEIF. I wouldn't want to trust the camera doing all this by itself without me having some sort of manual control. It's the same with digital image stabilization. I don't like it. I don't trust it. I'd rather fix it in post. And to be able to have these options inside the camera, but also have it in software, I think that would be, well, a great boon for photographers and videographers alike. But what do you think? Are you interested in this technology? Where do you think Canon's going to implement this technology? And when do you think it's going to be available? Canon hasn't told me yet, although I'm waiting to hear back from them. And if you want to stay up to date on technologies like this or upcoming news and rumors concerning the Canon EOS R5 Mark II, the Canon EOS R1, or any other major camera brands or camera models, do yourself a favor and me by subscribing and choosing all notifications. And by choosing all notifications, as soon as I publish a new video like this one here, well, you'll get notified. However, you do want to check your spam filter, because sometimes a lot of these notifications, they go right in there. And if you want to stay up to date on all the minor news and rumors, well, then follow me on Twitter at Ordinary Filmmaker. Well, it's actually OFilmmaker, or hashtag, or @ OFilmmaker. I don't know, there's too many social medias out there. I'm not even doing Instagram. I'm sticking to YouTube. I'm doing a little bit of Facebook, but I like Twitter because when it comes to sending out, well, the minor news updates, I find that Twitter works really, really well. They don't penalize you if you send out more than 3 posts. Whereas with YouTube, if I create more than 3 pieces of content, it could be a combination of videos, it could be a combination of polls, or something I post in the community, any 3 of those items, and they stop sending out notifications. They figure that's enough. That's all they want from people, is just 3 bits of communication a day. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you again soon.